There's plenty of live music to enjoy today, as well as along with conversations with our artists that we've got here this morning. In fact, we start with live music. We start this show with Daniel Christian. He is known for both his solo work as well as being a member of the popular band The String Beans. He has played around the United States, but we get to have him here today. He's kicking off the show with his song Vanishland here on Friday Live on Nebraska Public Media.
Come with me if you still know the place. Let's remember that old nest we made. There's still a sanctuary, safe in Vanishland. Dust it off, see what we find. What is yours and what is mine? Rediscover what we left behind in Vanishland. So let go of the burden you've been carrying, and all those questions you've been asking that you don't understand. Heaviness will disappear. There's only healing living here in Vanishland. We went sailing in the storm. We kept each other strong and warm. We did our best to form a 3-strand cord. And just like in relationships, all three are needed to forgive. You and me and the Spirit of the Lord. So let go of the burden you've been carrying. Uncover all the treasure we left buried in the sand. The heaviness will disappear. There's only healing living here in Vanishland. Drop sticks into the stream and watch them race below our feet. It's all water underneath the bridge in Vanishland. And if you open up your heart, I believe that you'll still feel the spark of embers glowing in the dark in Vanishland.
Yes.
Thank you.
Vanishland. That is Daniel Christian here, live from St. Paul United Methodist Church in Lincoln. It feels like Daniel always has a gig coming up, and funny enough, he does have 2 this weekend. The first is at Meadowlark Coffee in Lincoln. That is today, starting at 5 p.m. And the second is at First Presbyterian Church in Hastings, traveling out to Hastings, I'm assuming for a church service.
Yeah, so I'll be there all day. I'm going to teach a little bit about songwriting in the morning, and then I'll play their worship service, and then the String Beans will be there that afternoon playing a concert.
Oh my goodness, you have a busy full day. That's amazing. Yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you for having me back. I love this program.
That song you just played, Vanishland, is new for you?
Yeah, it's one of the newer ones. For me, new is probably like 2 years old by now. But yeah, it's one of the new ones.
What's the origin story?
You know, it's just a song about forgiveness and being kind of a memory archaeologist and finding the good in things that may have been difficult at the time, but moving forward.
That's a beautiful concept. I understand it might be part of a new release coming up?
I mean, I would love to record everything I've ever written. So yeah, if people say they'll listen, I'll record it someday.
Okay, so here's an interesting one for you, Daniel. Okay. You know I've always got one of these in the pocket.
I'm always excited to hear what you've come up with to talk about.
Chief Meteorologist for 1011 News, Ken Siemek.
Yes.
Retired last year. And with that, you released a song in tribute to him. Tell us more about where that song came from and why write a song about the weatherman?
I mean, why not? There's a long story. I'll do an abridged version, but I sometimes teach songwriting in colleges and high schools and even junior highs sometimes. And a friend of mine who is the band director in Tri-County invited me to work with some students there. And we were doing this songwriting exercise where, to make him laugh more than anything, I decided to write a song about the esteemed Ken Siemek. And this was years and years ago, and I never really showed it to very many people, but on the eve of his retirement, on that occasion, I thought it was time to make it public. And they found it, and they, they ran it on the air.
That is just amazing. What's your songwriting process with that in mind?
Well, with that, I mean, who knows? I don't have very many songs about television meteorologists, but maybe I could do more. I don't know. I think the process is just to play some music that I like and think about what that music sounds like it could be about. And then for me, I labor over the lyrics probably too long, but it's a lot of fun for me. It's a little bit of a puzzle, and it's a little bit of therapy, and I love songwriting, and I love when other people can do it too, and I love to facilitate it.
A number of your songs, Daniel, do have to do with the state of Nebraska. You've always tied at least some of your music back to where you come from, being just southeast of here in Tecumseh,
Yeah.
Nebraska. Shout out to Tecumseh. What about your hometown inspires your music?
It seems I keep writing about my hometown. I have a song called Welcome Home that people there, anyway, have been very favorable to that song because it just kind of captures, I mean, Nebraska's full of small towns, so it's probably about everybody's small town. But I just love thinking about, I had a really idyllic childhood in many ways. You know, there's the cafe, and there's the, you know, riding your bike to the park and all those things you see you know, in television shows that are nostalgic. But that's part of my story, and it's an important part of who I am.
Did those places make it into your music video?
They did, yeah. As a matter of fact, so did the filling station, which we still had a full-service filling station at the time. It's gone now, sadly, but yeah, I mean, and they're right now in Tecumseh. They're redoing the historic brick streets around the courthouse square. So that's going to be a big project, but I'm excited that things are going on down there.
Yeah, really cool. Well, the music also that you write is very diverse. We've had some of your music on our annual Christmas special. You write music for church services. Mm-hmm. You've also got this folk sound. You've done rock, the children's band with the string beans. Can you talk about the purpose and the pros and cons of that diversity?
I've always been almost to a fault kind of difficult. I remember speaking with a producer in Nashville one time, and he asked what I do, and I answered the way you kind of just listed all these things I'm interested in, and he said, "Oh, so you lack focus and direction." And I said, "Maybe, but I don't know anybody." Like, when I was a kid, you know, everybody had CD wallets in their cars, and they were very diverse collections. I didn't know anybody who only listened to one thing. We all had AC/DC and Bad Company, and those are weird examples to come up with, but all kinds of different music in the collection. And that's how I grew up, listening to lots of different music. My dad played in a band, and they were learning all the top 40 hits of the day and all the oldies from the 50s and 60s, and I just love that stuff.
Do you find there's a value, though, in that diversity as well? Not just a lack of focus, I'd say.
Yeah, I hope there's a value in it. It's been fun for me to kind of diversify the career as much as I can and find different things to do. I never set out to become a children's musician with the string beans, but it turns out to be one of the things for which I'm most recognized, and it's been such a blessing in my life. I'm so happy that I know those guys and get to work with them. And church music is very much the same thing. It's not something that was an ambition starting out, but it's something I started to do and found a lot of joy in it.
Financial advisors also say diversify your portfolio. So.
Yeah, they also say don't be a musician for a living.
Well, well, your next song coming up here is one you've written called Corners. Could you set us up for that one a little bit?
Well, I used to be a high school English teacher in Pawnee City, and the graduating senior class one year came to me and they said, "Would you write a song for our graduation?" And at the time, I was kind of thinking like they were about what was next. I was thinking about leaving teaching and going out and playing music for a job, which I thought would maybe last a year or two, and then I'd go back to teaching. But it's now been 18 years, and I don't think I'm going to go back.
Oh my goodness. Daniel Christian, amazing. Going from teacher to full-time musician and quite diverse, as we've learned. You can catch him at Meadowlark Coffee in Lincoln. That's tonight at 5 p.m. Also this Sunday, April 12th, he will be in Hastings, not only playing a service at First Presbyterian Church, but doing some teaching and joining the String Beans as well for a gig. And right now, we get to hear that song, Corners, here on Nebraska Public Media's Friday Live.
Exhale. You've painted yourself back into corners. Fly or fail. Things change, you'll see. Oh, now we can feel so lost when we're spinning and spinning and spinning. Just allow yourself to run and do the next thing. If you want to breathe in, you gotta breathe out. I know it's the same old question, but if you want to be here, what are you doing there? Brother, you saw this coming. Won't be long now, till the day you discover, when the tough get going, the going gets tougher. If you wanna breathe out, you gotta breathe in. I know it's the same old sermon, but if you wanna be